What's up guys, it's Diego back again to be bringing you a new type of FIFA 17 video to my channel, which isn't really new in the FIFA world, but it is new to my channel. Now basically what happened is, with FIFA 18 being about a month and a week away, because of the fact that I have EA access, I get to play it a few days earlier, I've been really excited about that game. So I got back to watching some FIFA 17 videos, which actually led to me discovering a new type of video that I hadn't known before. I don't know how long these videos have been around, but for me, they're new, and that's why I've been inspired to use those ideas and try to implement them to my own channel, coming up with my own new ideas for FIFA 18, but in the meantime, using some of the other ideas just to entertain myself, and since I'm going to be doing it for myself, I might as well do it for you guys as well. Basically, what they are FIFA challenge videos and FIFA experiment videos. The FIFA challenges are essentially where you set yourself a specific objective to be completed within a specific amount of years with specific rules. For example, my personal favorite type of challenge video is the accept every offer challenge, where basically you pick a team, usually a big team that has a lot of big name players that you can sell for a lot of money, and you have no choice but to accept every single offer for every single player, no matter who it is, no matter how much money it is. It could be like 20 to 30 million pounds less than what they're actually worth. You have no choice but to accept it. You cannot make signings in the first transfer window, so the summer transfer window. You can only sign during the January transfer window, and that's every year. Usually it takes about 3 years. You have about 3 seasons to win a title, and then you go from there. Now, the experiment videos are a little bit different. It's where you think of certain ideas, which I thought of one, and you put them into like a league or tournament format and see what comes out on top. Now, I've been seeing a lot of things that involve clubs, some that involve national teams, but I never really saw one that just came to my mind immediately, like which continent is actually the best in FIFA 17. So, in the modern world, there's 7 continents. There's the North America, there's South America, there's Europe, there's Africa, there's Australia, there's Asia, and there's Antarctica. Because of the fact that Antarctica realistically doesn't have, I think there's even a single Antarctica player in this game, I went ahead and just cut out Antarctica and made it North America, South America, Europe, Asia, Africa, and Australia. Obviously, Australia and New Zealand are pretty much the only teams that are the only countries that are going to be involved in the Australia one. So I went ahead and just made it the Australian national team versus the perfect XI from Europe, North America, etc. So let's go ahead and take a look at the teams, and I'll give you a little bit of a rundown of who we're going to be playing as. I'm not going to be playing, I'm only going to be simulating the games, but we'll see who is going to be playing, and then we'll jump right into the tournament. Now keep in mind that this is the first time I'm doing something like this, so it's very different from what I've done with my other FIFA videos, so it might be a little bit rough at first, but it will get better for sure. So when I was organizing this video, I knew I had to pick the biggest club to represent each continent, and there is no bigger club than Real Madrid. So basically, I put in the highest rated players from each continent into their team, and let's see who's representing Europe. We have Manuel Neuer in goal, David Alaba left back, Sergio Ramos in center back, Jerome Boateng at center back, Philip Lahm and the right back, Luka Modric and Pogba as center midfielders, Ozil in the cam position, Gareth Bale and Ronaldo on the wings, and Lewandowski as the main striker. With Lewandowski, I was kind of torn apart between who I should put in. Should I put in Lewandowski or should I put in Ibrahimovic, because they have the same rating? But realistically, Lewandowski being the younger player, the one that has more upside right now, Ibrahimovic maybe in the prime of his career was a little bit better than Lewandowski, but it's really up to debate. They're both tremendous players. So I went ahead and just went with Lewandowski because he is the most prolific striker right now. And then on the bench we have Marco Reus, David De Gea, which I also was thinking about putting him as the goalkeeper, but Manuel Neuer is regarded the best goalkeeper in the world. He has the higher rating, so I went ahead and put him in there. Zlatan Ibrahimovic, Giorgio Chiellini, which is probably the best defender in the world, but he is rated lower than both Boateng and Sergio Ramos. Then Kevin De Bruyne, Antoine Griezmann, and Toni Kroos as the last guys on the bench. On the reserves we have Jordi Alba, Pepe, Eden Hazard, Thibaut Courtois, Gianluigi Buffon, Hugo Lloris, and Andres Iniesta. So just a tremendous team, and I'd be very shocked to see anybody beat them, even though the South American team is also very, very good. So representing South America, I went with the biggest club I could think of for South America, and that is Boca Juniors. Them alongside River Plate are probably the biggest ones, but Boca, as of right now, are definitely the better team, so I just went ahead and went with them. In goal, they have Keylor Navas. Fullbacks have Marcelo and Dani Alves. In the center back position, we have Thiago Silva and Godin. Center mid, we have Vidal and Mascherano, with James Rodriguez behind the strikers. Neymar and Messi are the wingers, and the main striker is Suarez. So the MSN is back united together once again to be trying to dominate the European team, which honestly, it's actually really fucking close. I expected the European team to do better, but they're actually pretty much dead even. On the bench, you have Otamendi, Felipe Luis, Paulo Dybala, Gonzalo Higuain, Sergio Aguero, Alexis Sanchez, Angel Di Maria. As the reserves, you have Willian, Claudio Bravo, who is atrocious, but somehow has an 85 rating in FIFA, Gaitan, Carlos Tevez, David Luiz, Jimenez, Oscar, and Douglas Costa, and Alexandro as well. And those are the reserves. So a really, really good team. And let's take a look at the American team, the North American team. Alright, so for the North American team, I went ahead and picked LA Galaxy because based on the fact that they had Beckham, the fact that they have a lot of, they have Giovanni Dos Santos right now, they have Robbie Keane, they've had a lot of really good players, a lot of big name players. So I went ahead and chose them. In goal, they have Tim Howard, they have Brooks, Moreno and Cameron as the center backs. They have Michael Bradley, Hector Herrera, and Andres Guardado as the center mids. On the right, we have Jonathan Dos Santos. We have Giovanni Dos Santos behind the striker. Carlos Vela is on the left wing, and Chicharito Javier Hernandez is the main striker. On the bench, we have Clint Dempsey, we have Jimenez, we have Corona, we have Fabian Johnson, we have Josie Altidore, we have Christian Pulisic, who is without a doubt the best North American player, the best, for sure, American, so the United States player there's ever been. And he has only a ton of potential. In this game, he's only 71. FIFA 18, he's probably going to be a monster. And then Armando is the final player on the bench. And the reserves, we have Laurentowicz, Besler, Alonso, Hamid, Jones, Phil Heiber, and Zardes. So I didn't really put in a lot of people on the reserves just because the North American players are pretty much more or less around the same rating there. So nobody particularly good, nobody particular to add in there. That's about it. It's a decent team. I would expect them to probably finish third based on some of the other teams, maybe even fourth depending on the African team. Now with the African team, like I said, there was no club, so I went ahead and chose Goiás to represent them because they're green. So let's see, it's very reminiscent of a lot of the African jerseys, like Nigeria, for example, and Ivory Coast second jersey. So I went ahead and picked them. In goal, they have Kune, who's actually really high rated. Gulam and Ore are the fullbacks. Benacia and Matip are the center backs. Wanyama and Toure are the center mids. With on the wings, we have Riyad Mahrez, Mohamed Salah, and Sadio Mane in behind the striker. And obviously the big powerhouse player for Africa is Aubameyang. He's going to be tremendous for them and possibly going to be the guy that's going to carry them to a lot of success. On the bench, they have Slimani, they have Koulibaly, they have Gay, they have Bailly, they have Balde Diao, the Lazio player, they have Ayu, they have Feguli. And the reserves, they have Moses, they have Musa, Asamoah, Walazi, El Kaddouri, and Mikel. So a pretty good team all around. They don't have any really bad players like some of the other teams, which will be coming up very soon. But overall, definitely not one of the best teams, but have a lot of potential if Aubameyang can really get them going and if Mahrez can really turn it up. Next up, we have Asia, and I picked Hiroshima just because, why not? I think it's hilarious, but I mean, that might just be me as being, that's a piece of shit, but it is what it is. Here we have Kun Soon Tai in goal. We have Park Joo-ho. We have Uchida as the other fullback. We have Yoshida and Shiotani as the center backs. We have Hasebe and Young as the center midfielders. On the wings, we have Honda and Son, and then Kagawa. So it's a very, very good trio behind the strikers, just tremendous players. The Tottenham player especially, Son, he looks tremendous. And in FIFA 18, I expect him to have a huge rating boost. And then the main strikers, Okazaki. Everybody knows Okazaki. Everybody loves Okazaki. On the bench, I could not leave out Nakamura, just one of the legends of the game when it comes to Celtic and probably the greatest ever Asian player. Also, we have Koo Ja-cheol, we have Chung Young, Lee Dong-guk, Kyotake, Muto, and Aoyama. So a pretty decent bench, considering the fact that I expect them to be much worse. Then you have Ji Dong-won, Shibazaki, Chiba, Nagai, Sato, and Shijuki. I don't know how to pronounce that name. Anyway, so pretty decent team from Asia. I expect the worst. I don't think it's really able to compete with anything, but it will possibly be able to beat the next team, which is the final team, Australia. I mean, as you can see, the Australian team is by far the worst. Actually, I mean, it might be slightly, I don't know. No. It's definitely worse than the Asian team because of the fact they have Kagawa, Honda, they have Son, they have Okazaki. They have much better players all around the pitch pretty much, except for maybe the defense and in goal. Ryan is the goalkeeper with Behich and Ridson as the fullbacks. Williams and Sainsbury are the center backs. Cruz and Lecky are the wingers. Moy and Jedinak's actually the best player. They are the center midfielders. Tim Cahill, a legend of the game, is their striker alongside Holman, who is a cam, but I went ahead and put him as a striker just because everybody else in that position has lower shooting, like striker-wise. They have lower shooting, and overall I think he's probably the better player to go alongside Cahill if they want to have an offensive team. I went with a 4-4-2 because they don't really have a lot of players that can really play mixed things, so I just stuck them in there, and hopefully for Australia they won't finish last, which I do expect them to probably finish last. So as you can see the league table right here, all the teams are there. It asked me to control one team. I went ahead and controlled Real Madrid, so Europe, but I'm not going to be controlling any of the games. I'm going to be simulating, and I won't be changing any players unless there are injuries, which means I have no choice but to remove them. I'll only be putting in the best rated player in that position. So that's about it. I was going to be skipping until the midway point through the season, and there's 2 fixtures between each side. So let's go ahead and see what happens midway through the season and see who is dominating. Alright, so midway through the season, as you can see, Europe is absolutely dominating it. They haven't lost a single match. They have 4 wins, 1 draw. They have scored a monstrous 18 goals with only 4 conceded with a 14 goal difference. That's tremendous. South America have won 3 games, lost 2. I'm curious to see who they lost to other than obviously the European team. They have 11 goals scored and only 7 goals conceded, but that's not great considering the fact that they only have a +4 goal difference and Europe has a +14, so it's a massive difference. Next up, we have the African team. Wow, I'm actually kind of surprised by that, who are third, only 1 point behind South America with 2 wins, 2 draws, and 1 loss. I'm surprised by that. They scored the exact same amount of goals as South America, and they've only conceded 1 more. That's a tremendous turnaround. That's a tremendous first half of the season for the African side. 4th place, we have Asia, who have won 2 games, drawn 1, and lost 2. Not too bad for them. I expected them to be doing a little bit worse, to be honest with you. They've scored 5 goals, they've conceded 10, so poor when it comes to that. But they have beaten the teams below them almost for sure. LA Galaxy with the United States the North American side are 5th. They have 1 win, 2 draws, and 2 losses. That's really bad. They've only scored 3 goals and they've conceded 8, so really bad. Australia they haven't won a single game. They've lost every single one. Oof. That sucks for them. They've only scored 3 goals and they've conceded a monstrous 14 goals. Ouch, 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 ouch. So now let's take a look and see who the top goal scorers is. I have a feeling based on what's happening among the African team that Aubameyang has been getting a lot of goals. So holy shit, the top goal scorer of the thing is Gareth Bale with Willian even on him alongside Hazard and Keita. And if you don't know who Bala Diao is, that is Keita, the Lazio player who looks like he's about to sign for Juventus, and he's only rated at 79. So he's tremendous in this game. Ronaldo leads the pack with that has 2 goals alongside Ibra, Modric, Oscar, Lewandowski, Lecky. That's a good performance there from Lecky considering the fact that his team's pretty garbage. Rodriguez and Musa. And then the rest of them. And for the most part, it looks like pretty much all the European players are getting all the goals. I mean, they're the ones that have the most goals for sure. Obviously, because of the fact they have such a monstrous goal difference, that does prove that they are the best continent in there so far, at least. And when it comes to assists, Eden Hazard, who is a reserve player, is getting all the assists. I mean, he's dominating. Dani Alves has 2, alongside Mahrez and Keita, who is having one hell of a season. This Keita, he has 3 goals and 2 assists. That's tremendous. That's fucking good. And then Ibrahimovic has an assist, and then the rest go on and on and on. But what does Aubameyang have? He does not have a lot of goals. Holy shit. Aubameyang might not even have a single goal. So that's shocking for Mikel to be on the top sheet when it comes to goal scorers and not Aubameyang. What the fuck? Alright, so let's go ahead and simulate to the end of the season. Okay, so at the end of the season, Europe have won themselves the title of GOAT continent in the world with an undefeated season with 6 wins, 4 draws, 27 goals scored, only 9 conceded with a big fucking great goal difference of 18, 22 points. What a season for them. Fucking Africa finished 2nd. They beat out South America, winning 4 games, drawing 5, and only losing 1, with a goal difference of +5 with 17 goals and 12 goals conceded. Fucking 17 points. Tremendous season for Africa. I expected them to finish 3rd or 4th, honestly. 3rd place, South America, who underperformed big time considering the tremendous team they have with great players from top to bottom, especially the strikers. I mean, what the hell happened to Messi? What the hell happened to Suarez and Neymar? What the motherfuck happened to them? 4 wins, 3 draws, 3 losses. Shit performance from them. 17 goals, 12 goals conceded, just like Africa. But the big difference is Africa only lost 1 game, and South America managed to lose 2 more than them. Wow. 4th place, the North American side with 2 wins, 5 draws, 3 losses. More or less exactly what I expected, with 9 goals scored and 14 conceded, so a -5 goal difference. I expect them to finish 4th. I expect maybe to be like a battle between Africa and the North American side to decide exactly which team was going to be finishing 3rd or 4th. But, I mean, Africa, what a performance. 5th place, we have Asia. 2 wins, 4 draws, 4 losses, 8 goals scored, 18 goals conceded, 10 points, only 1 point behind the North American side. So that is really surprising. I expect them to finish with like 8 points, maybe getting a couple wins against Australia, and maybe getting a couple draws against either the North American team or the African team or something like that. And then Australia, obviously, bottom of the fucking league with only 1 win. They actually got a win. That's good for them. At least they got 1 win. With 1 win, 1 draw, and 8 losses. I mean, not a good season for them, but considering the fact they were completely outpowered when it comes to the roster in every single position, it's not really surprising. So 7 goals scored, 20 conceded. Piss poor from them, but had to be expected. 4 points, not a good season from them. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the top goal scorers, and Lewandowski alongside Keita or the top goal scorers. I mean, this Keita kid must be considered an absolute beast in FIFA because he has fucking performed like an absolute monster. Ronaldo has 3 alongside Gareth Bale, Willian, Hazard, Mahrez, and that's it for 3. Ibrahimovic leads the second part of the group with 2 goals. And the assist players, there's Ronaldo with 3 alongside Hazard, so Europe absolutely dominated that. Alves remained with 2 goals, with 2 assists, and then Honda, Aubameyang, etc. And let's see what the fuck happened to Aubameyang. I mean, he got 2 goals in the second half of the season, but really I expected way better from him. Rated 86. I expected him to really carry that African team, but no, it was Mahrez and Keita absolutely doing the damn thing and really giving them more stats than I would have possibly expected. When it comes to clean sheets, Lloris for the European team had to be expected, but why is he a starter? What the hell? I mean, I don't know. The game, I didn't simulate them personally, I simulated the calendar. So it just did a bunch of shit on its own, which is completely fine with me. Lloris with 5 clean sheets. Actually, the North American team with 2. That's actually that's surprising. I expected them to be lower considering their league position. And Claudio Bravo somehow had 2 clean sheets. Last season with City had like a save to shot ratio of probably like 20%. So that's pretty surprising. Kune also had 1. So a pretty decent showing from the North American side when it comes to defending, at least for the goalkeeper. And then yellow cards, obviously Sergio Ramos was going to be at the top, and then Jeff Cameron, one of the Stoke players of the team, so expected him to get fucking yellow cards. Red cards, Javier Mascherano, Hector Herrera, and Jordi Alba led the group with the only red cards of the season. Javier Mascherano doesn't surprise me in the least. Alba a little bit does, but not really when it comes to Mascherano. He's just a red card machine. He's kind of a dumbass too, so I expected that from him. So, the first, oh yeah, there you go. Vidal was also injured with a groin injury. That's bad for them. But anyway, at the end of the first experiment, I can honestly say this was shocking. This was actually shocking. I mean, I didn't expect Africa to get close to second. I had no hope of anybody competing for that top 2 spot other than the European team and the South American team. So hats off to Africa. You guys outperformed yourself in a big way. Much respect to you, much respect to your country, to your continent, and just hats off to you guys. Holy shit. Europe, obviously, as going into the season, had to be considered the favorites because of how good the team is, and the level of football that they play from a young level is just higher than anywhere else in the world. So it was always going to be them winning it. So let me know in the comment section down below, guys, what you think of these videos. Did you find it entertaining? What do you think of the experiment itself? Was it a good experiment? Was it kind of dumb? What would you like to see me do next? Any challenge ideas? Let me know all these things in the comment section down below. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope that you guys will come back for another experiment video. I'm going to be doing a lot of these coming up in FIFA 17. And when FIFA 18 hits, I already have a few personal ideas I hope nobody else comes up with. And I'll be doing those big time. And hopefully you guys will tune to that. Thank you so much for watching. I've been Diego, and I will see you in the next video.